Matt from the Trade Brigade doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol BNGO for BioNano Genomics. Looking at the daily time frame on the left-hand side, you can see the D up here and the 30-minute intraday time frame on the right-hand side. First thing to point out is that we did experience an earnings announcement after the bell today, so let's turn on our 30-minute extended hours session and just see where earnings are trading as of right now. So slightly lower than today's close, so let's just go ahead and assume that we open at or slightly below today's close. So a small gap down could be in store. For round numbers sake, we'll just go ahead and call that number there at $5.80 or so. Let's assume we open around that benchmark. Turning the extended back off and looking at our daily time frame to see obvious areas of support and resistance. And the first thing that I see when I look at this chart is simply a symmetrical triangle, right? If you do something like this, obviously our highs are getting lower, but our lows are also getting higher. I'm curious to see if this one, yeah, look at that, pretty good. So that works out well there using this as an anchor, and these lows still respecting that slope of the trend line. So for now, with earnings coming out and us breaking down, it looks like we're on a slight gap lower. It could be a breakdown of this sort of symmetrical triangle wedge that we're in. So in that case, we know that the target is always going to be the low end of the wedge. So I would argue it's here first, obviously, at $5.51. We're not going to assume it comes all the way down to our anchor point at $4.30. And then after that, I actually, you know what, before I move on, I like $5.50 also because just looking left, there's also a cluster of lows in here as well from the daily perspective. So that to me would make a reasonable downside target. Let's adjust that just so you can visualize that a little bit better, doing something like that. So certainly these cluster of lows and the recent low from this wedge that we've formed. So that would be the downside target I'd first pay attention to. Anything after that, $5, nice psychological round number, should also be on your radar simply because we also have some touches in here. So lower wick, then offered, there's some resistance and support then once it was broken to the upside. So that's the downside case. And again, opening on a gap down, it strikes me as a potential possibility, that we move lower out of this wedge. Now, if there's a major crazy reversal that happens between now and 9:30, and don't forget, there's a lot of time between now and the bell tomorrow morning. If there's a reversal to the upside, the only long I could potentially see playing out is something over $6.18, in which case you just walk up the targets here on the symmetrical triangle, in which case I would say, over that 6.18, we're looking at $6.50, and after that, $6.78. We will have to battle that 50 SMA should we get up there. But given the scenario of the gap down, looks like we're trying to break that 200 SMA. Today's daily candlestick is also a large inverted hammer here. It's just looking like a better trade to the downside as opposed to the upside. On our 30-minute chart, are we missing anything that was blatantly obvious here, or did we get it right? It looks like we got it right for the most part. I mean, there's really no intermediate levels that we should really be aware of. Maybe you want to call out an area of support around $5.66, but again, I think you're getting a little bit granular there if you decide to use that. I mean, you could split the difference anywhere here. You could call it $5.60. You could split the hairs however you'd like. So, I mean, for me, I'd rather just go based off of those daily levels which we've outlined, which seem a little bit more relevant. So if you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, let me know down below in the comments section or by simply leaving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out our main channel, which is linked down below in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.